20 plus years. 20 plus years of my life I dedicated to helping others, but at the same time, I sacrificed time with my family. I know many of you can relate to that while working and missing out on time spent with our family. But there came a point in my life where I said I wanted to retire. I went to my husband and told him. He said, honey, we done built a whole lifestyle based off 2 incomes, and now you want to retire? I was like, yes. And then he said, well, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to create our own wealth. We're going to become millionaires. And he said, how are we supposed to do that? I said, we're going to open up our own business. I said, honey, it's nothing wrong with having a job, but there's something wrong with only having a job. And that's why he said, okay, let's go for it. We did. Fast forward 2 years from that conversation, we opened up our own company, and our company was soaring. So much so we had more customers than we had product. That's a good problem to have, but at the same time, you got to have income to be able to service those customers. So we went to 2 banks, 800 credit score. The banks told us no. We didn't get discouraged. We didn't quit. You know what? We found other avenues to make it happen, and we found foreign exchange and cryptocurrency. It is phenomenal, and it's an extremely lucrative way to make money. So I'm gonna share with you this presentation just so you can see what I saw, and hope that you see the same value as I did. Many of you may have heard of Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, but he also wrote a follow-up book to that called The Cash Flow Quadrant. The Cash Flow Quadrant details 4 classifications of people that are on the left side of money and those that are on the right. Most of us are on that left side of money. That's 95% of America. 60% of us work for someone else. And you know what that is, going to work and you trading hours for dollars. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. It's that simple. Then you want to move to the your self-employed, those who work for themselves, like your barbers, your real estate agents, your hairstylists, your doctors, your lawyers. Like myself, I was a self-employed, but guys, guess what? I found myself working smarter, but I was also working harder because I was always out of the house, marketing myself, marketing my product. So what we found, and what Robert Kiyosaki talks about heavily, is being that business owner, but you have to have the mindset. And then first we're going to talk about investing. Foreign exchange. Foreign exchange is, simply said, amazing. It's a $5.3 trillion market. What that means is $5.3 trillion is flowing through the foreign exchange market on a daily basis. It's open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now you may say, Rhonda, what is the foreign exchange market? Well, let me explain it to you. It's basically when you exchange one country's currency for another country's currency. There's an exchange rate that happens, and an exchange rate that we can actually profit as traders. Now, like for instance, when I went to Jamaica, my $1 US was worth 122 Jamaican dollars. There was an exchange rate that happened. The same thing when I went to Mexico. My $1 US was worth 52 pesos. So again, an exchange rate happened, and off of that exchange rate, we profit. Now you may say, Rhonda, what's the difference between the stock market and currency market? Well, there's a lot of differences. The main one, the biggest one, is that the currency market is a $1 trillion market, where the stock market is a $1 billion market. And we're open 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week. They're only open 9 to 5 from Monday through Friday. Now, right now, what's going on with the economy and how everybody's looking at how the markets are crashing, or the Feds is dumping money into the market to keep it afloat, and people are selling off their actual stocks. That's so different than currency. It doesn't matter in currency. It doesn't matter if the market is up or if the market is down. We make money either way, whether the dollar is weak or the dollar is strong, we get paid. And that's the beautiful thing about trading currency, that it doesn't matter what's going on in the country, because everyone is always going to spend that dollar. Then I want to talk to you about foreign cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, is simply said, is really going to evolve, and it's happening right now. It's evolving currency. It's changing the way we look at currency, because now people are looking at, digital currency, like your credit cards at one point. Now we're looking at actual coins. Can you imagine? Many of you may have heard of cryptocurrency, like your Ripple or your Litecoin or your Ethereum. Most popular is your Bitcoin, and it's already skyrocketed to $1 trillion. $1 trillion. Can you imagine? It's already surpassed the stock market. But let me explain it. Now, with cryptocurrency, I remember when I first got started, a little over 2 years ago in this company, I had no idea what cryptocurrency was, but I did hear about Bitcoin and how it was so lucrative and people were so fascinated with it. But what I didn't know was how lucrative it was. When I got involved, I actually learned the skill of how to trade it, and literally took 20 cents and turned it into thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. I couldn't half believe it myself. But you know me, I'm the type of person that if I make money, I want somebody else to make it too. So first thing I told was my girlfriend, I said, hey, look, y'all got to get involved in this. It was 6 of them. And I said, hey, look, this coin is phenomenal. I don't know much about it yet. I'm still learning the process, but I know it's making us money. And they said, well, Rhonda, we're going to buy the coin. We don't want to trade it. We can make more money buying it. And I said, okay, fine. I wasn't going to pressure them. But what happened was during that time frame in 2017, cryptocurrency was predicted to go to $40,000 per coin, $40,000. So I traded my 20 cent. They bought their $6,000 coin because they all put up $1,000 each. And Bitcoin did skyrocket. It actually skyrocketed to about $20,000. $20,000. I was so excited I couldn't believe it because my 20 cent gave me like 5 figures. And I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. Then my girlfriends, they were excited too, but getting out of nowhere, the market plummeted. It dropped to $3,400. Now, my girlfriends, on the other hand, they made a ton of money going when it went up, but they lost every bit of it when it went down. Why? Because they had no education. They didn't know how to maneuver in the market. Most importantly, when they bought it at a certain price and it lost value. It dropped below the value in which they paid for it. Myself personally, after that a beautiful ride up, I made even more money on the ride down because one, with the education that I learned, I understood how Bitcoin moved. I know it moved in zones. It has sudden increases and sudden decreases. And I made money as it dropped and made a ton of money going down, and it came with education. So guys, cryptocurrency is really, really moving. Now, I know y'all probably heard of Oprah, Oprah, right? She made over $50 million in cryptocurrency. So did Akon and 50 Cent. Everybody is getting involved in it right now. Cryptocurrency has gotten to where you can actually purchase certain things like your AT&T bill. You can actually either purchase a phone with them or pay your phone bill with cryptocurrency. I mean, and then now they even have ATM machines that are using cryptocurrency. I even have my own debit card with cryptocurrency. So you want to get in front of this wealth trend. And how we know all this is through our academy. Our academy is stellar. It's second to none. The classes on here are like phenomenal. They teach you from a beginner, basic, to intermediate, to advanced pro. These classes are mastered by top traders. And guys, we have our Foreign Exchange Mastery Academy. And what that academy does, it teaches you how to look into the market, understanding what a buy versus a sell is, understanding market structure, what is a pip, what is traded in the market, everything from A to Z. It teaches you that. I learned the information from here. I even taught my son how to take these classes. I put them on him because I wanted him to understand at an early age how he can learn a skill and how it can bring him tons of money. Not only that, we got our digital Mastery Academy. And with that is how I learned how to trade the crypto. I understood, from learning the skill, how Bitcoin and how other cryptocurrencies move. They have sudden moves and they have steady moves. Sometimes they can move slow for like days and then all of a sudden just make a jump to the upside or the jump to the downside. But I understood and I know how market structure works. And that's how I was able to capitalize and make a ton of money based off what I knew in the market when that currency dropped. So again, our academy, both sides, whether it's foreign exchange or cryptocurrency, it is stellar and it is second to none. Then we have our Gold Live platform. This is like watching TV, but now it's paying you. These top traders are top traders in the country. These are 7-figure traders. Our CEO of the company, he brought these traders together for us. And what they do is they actually trade live on the market. They're looking up the market, they're analyzing the charts, they're analyzing the news, and when they identify a trade in the market, they actually give it right to us. These top traders are making $1 million based off their education and their knowledge and their strategy, and they're teaching it to us, and then they're giving us the copy and paste trade signals. If you don't understand what copy and paste trade signals, let me explain it to you. Just say, for instance, if you got a big test tomorrow and you don't study the night before, but you go into class and you sit there and the teacher looks at you and said, hey, why aren't you taking the test? Well, I don't know the answers. He turns around and gives you the paper and said, here's the answers to the test so you can get an A. That's what copy and paste trade signals are. They're giving you the answers to put into your own trading platform so you can make money. I mean, they're teaching you even their strategy. It is phenomenal. Then we got, and we're learning from the best. Like I said, these are the top-notch 7-figure earners. But then we got our live mentorship. And what our live mentorship is where we're able to get in front of top mentorships. These are gentlemen who have succeeded in their craft. Like, for instance, Bob Proctor. He is the #1 prosperity speaker in the country. He's taught the likes of your Tony Robbins or your Robert Kiyosaki, and even David Emenetier, who is the #1 highest paid African-American in this industry in the country. Guys, Bob Proctor, when I listen to him and I go on and listen to how he talks and how he tells about the vibrations, he is phenomenal, guys. You're actually just to go see him. for a general ticket is $1,000. We get to see him for free live, and he's teaching us and coaching us and telling us how we can also become better people at who we are and understand the money that we're making and how we're able to be even more successful. So it is phenomenal. Then we got our Hello Center. Our Hello Center hosts all our apps, and our apps are basically where these top traders have put together these apps that actually teach you how to use their strategies. I mean, their apps are this. When I tell you that these, they created these, they designed them for people who have different styles of trading. Like we have our scalpers, we have our day traders, our position traders, our swing traders. You're able to decide which type of trader you are. Myself personally, I'm a scalper. So it's certain products here that I can actually get on, and they teach me how to be a better scalper. I mean, a scalper is a person who's in the market for a short period of time. A swing trader is a person who's in the market who swings their trades, and their trades go back and forth for a couple of days. Where a position trader is someone that stays in the trades for months. And then actually a day trader, you're just trading for that day. So again, you learn the type of trader that you become, and from there you can pick and select the products that we have. But one of our top products and our $1 million product is our Harmonic scanner. And what it does is simplifies trading. It is privately held by our company. And what it does, it actually scans the market and is looking for great trade setups. And when it finds them trade setups, it sends them right to your scanner. It actually is looking for an actual trade. And when it finds it, guys, it brings it right to you. Can you imagine sitting there with your coffee, tea, milk, or soda, and your scanner just doing everything for you? It's giving you the pair. It'll tell you to jump into gold versus USD, or the British pound versus the Japanese yen. It'll tell you which pair. It'll tell you if it's a buy or a sell. Then it actually gives you the entry price of where to enter into that trade. And it also gives you something called a take profit price, where you actually profit out automatically. And then it gives you the stop loss, which is a proper risk manager to prevent you from minimal loss. I mean, it thought of everything beyond talking to somebody, because with those top traders, you're interacting with traders. This is something that you can do privately when you just want to be by yourself and make money. And everything that we have is on the go and is actually mobile friendly. And our trades, that I tell you, our trades are 85 to 90% accurate. I want to make sure you understood when I said that. 85 to 90% accurate. Just imagine you're driving in the car and you get a trade signals. Guys, you're able to get these trade signals right to your cell phone. You're actually able to take your classes right from your cell phone. You're actually able to just understand and get the strategies that these actual traders are sending out right from your cell phone. It's phenomenal. Then we've created a lot of success stories, a lot of them. And I want you to read this sentence. Read this sentence. Wealthy, worth more than money. It's taught me how to create and build real wealth, allowing me to spend more time with our family, because that's what most of us want, time spent with our family. So what we'll do at this point, all the information I just went over, our education is stellar, is second to none. Our tools to get you there are magnificent. But let me explain to you what we'll do. We'll get you involved and we'll show you how to get on that education. We have a basic, intermediate, advanced pro courses. Our basic course consists of just 4 hours. 4 hours. We'll put you on those courses. That way you can understand and get the education you need. From there, we'll put you on what we call a demo account, where you can actually practice trading live on the market using fake currency. Now we'll put about $1,000, $2,000, maybe even $5,000 into your fake account. That way you can practice trading what you just learned in those 4-hour courses. From there, we'll move you to your own live account. With your live account, you're going to fund it with your own money. And guess what? You're going to start to earn while you learn. Can you imagine? You're going to earn while you learn. Why? Because we're calling out those copy and paste trade signals that are 85 to 90% accurate. So you're going to make money. So the premise is our company is to educate you. Education is something no one can ever take from you. Get the education, learn the skill, get that basic 4-hour course, go to the practice trading, and then live trade and start making money. This can be done in less than 7 days. 7 days. And let me show you how we do it. We're going to show you how you compound your own money. Compounding in foreign exchange is like nothing I've ever seen. It's simply amazing. What this chart that we've created is designed to show you how to compound your own money, how to multiply it. Now, this actual chart is based off trading one trade at a time, one trade per day. Most of us are busy, but we're busy broke. So just imagine just taking 2 minutes out your schedule to actually place a trade, and now you're making money. So I'm going to show you what we do. We'll show you how to put at least $50 into your own live account where you're going to trade this money yourself. We're going to call out that copy and paste trade signal, which is 85 to 90% accurate. That first trade, you're only going to trade the penny, the power of the penny, the power of the penny, just 1 cent. 1 cent will get you $6. You're in the day with $56, guys. You started with 50 and now you got $56. It may not seem like a lot, but let me give you, you give me a penny and I'll give you back $6. That's a major day, right? That's a $600 markup. Then day 2, we're going to call out another trade too. You're going to place just 1 cent. And with that 1 cent, you're going to make $6.72. You're going to end the day with $62. You've grown your account $12 in just 2 days, and you started with 50. What bank is going to pay you $12 in 2 days on a $50 account? If you have a bank that does that, please let us know so we can all join that bank. Then we're going to continue to keep going. We're going to be able to increase the lot size by 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, all the way down within your first 30 days of trading. You're trading 40 cents, and now you've grown your account to $1,000. And you started with 50 just one time. $1,000. You're going to take out minimal amounts every week because you want to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Leave $899 in, take a total of $176 out. You're going to keep growing that within the next 30 days of trading. Now you're making well over $100 per day. You're going to grow that within the next 30 days of trading to over $20,000. That's right, I said 20,000, and you started with 50. Guys, it just gets better from there, okay? You take out 2,600, enjoy that, leave 17,000 in. Now you're making well over $2,000 per day. $2,000 per day. You're going to keep growing that within the next 30 days of trading. Now you got over $400,000. $400,000, and you started with $50. That's the power of foreign exchange. But guys, you're probably saying, Rhonda, I got a little bit more. Okay, $200. The same scenario, $200. You're going to grow that within the first 30 days of trading to over $3,500, right? $3,500 you keep, take out $700, right? $700. And then you're going to grow that now within the next 30 days of trading. You're making over $400 per day. Now you've made $81,000. You started with 200. You're at 81,000. Guys, are you hearing me? Are you feeling me? Are you listening? 81,000. You started with 200. Then from here, you're going to take out 10,000 and enjoy that. And then now you're making over $9,000 per day. What job is going to pay you that? We don't want to know. We just want to make sure that you understand that what can you do in the comfort of your home, in your pajamas, like I am in my pajamas. I'm trading. I'm making over $9,000 a day. You're going to keep growing that. Now within the next 30 days of trading, you've made over $1.4 million, $1.4 million, and you started with $200. Guys, we just showed you how to turn $200 into $1 million in 90 trading days. 90 trading days. We're changing lives and bank accounts, and we're changing the dynamics of people's homes. Guys, this chart alone, trading foreign exchange, is simply amazing. Guys, but let me explain this chart so you understand. At any time you need your money, you take it out, it's yours. We're just showing you how much money you can make if you compound it. Compound takes money to make money. You grow it, it's simple. That's it. But guys, you will never ever look at $50, $200, or any amount ever again, because now you know the power of trading. And then 2, you can multiply this chart however many times you like. We trade multiple trades per day. This is just trading one trade, one simple trade, the power of a penny. Now you're probably saying, Rhonda, enough. How much does this cost? $234. $234.95 gets you access to the academy, which is going to educate you and teach you the skill of how to trade. Guys, that education is stellar. And then you got the Go Live platform. You can get on with those top traders who are $1 million earners. And from here, they're going to give you copy and paste trade signals. And then that Harmonic scanner is second to none, okay? The Harmonic scanner is stellar. Now, the monthly fee, there is a monthly subscription of $175. Guys, I just showed you how you're going to get it paid. There's 2 ways to get it paid. The first way is just by trading. When I first got started, the very first thing I traded for was for that 174. The second thing I traded for was my cell phone. Then I traded for my utilities. Then I traded for my car note. Then I traded for my house note. And guess what? It got to the point everything was paid off in 1 week. And then I had 3 weeks left in the month. So I just doubled up until I was able to pay off my car, pay off my house. And now I'm sitting right here before you to tell you can do it too. Now we got 2 packages, right? We got the elite package, this is $324, $274 a month. It comes with so much. This is for the most immediate trader, intermediate trader. So I'm gonna show you also, you can also at any time upgrade to that package, but you can also add some of these apps on a la carte. With these apps that we have, you either can upgrade to the elite package or just add them on. But guys, again, each one of these trades are designed around you. If you're a scalper or a day trader, position trader, or a swing trader, these apps host all of that. Now, this is the second way you can pay that $174, 2 people. Just 2 people, and it's totally free. 2 people, and it's free. The $174 is completely waived. Let me tell you, we have over 180,000 customers a part of our company. 180,000. People lie, but numbers don't. For us having 180,000 people, that's telling you two things. One, that our education is amazing. And two, they're making money. They're making money. They're learning the skill and they're making money. 180,000 customers. Now, we got two ways in our company that you can make money. The first way is trading. The trading, again, is phenomenal. Today alone in Bitcoin, I traded it. I made so far, and it's still moving, over $6,000. And I didn't leave my house. I didn't leave my house. $6,000 trading cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. We got a call. Actually, I can look right now. I got into it. The trade I want to share with you really quickly live. I got into the trade at 95.20, and right now it's at 98.34. And I got 62.83.40 in my account right now. I'm looking at it, guys. Amazing, changing lives. But from here, I'm going to go from here. The second way you can make money in our company, this is optional. It is optional, not required. You can actually become an independent business owner. I did that. I'm going to share it with you really quick, but it is optional. You can actually make a list of 100 people. Out of those 100, you can invite out 50. Out of the 50 I invited out, 30 showed up, and 28 got started. Why? Because they saw value in what I shared. They said, Rhonda, what makes sense makes dollars. So they got started. From there, you can get $25 for whatever package they sign up, but that's not important. What's really important is that now you can start to make residual income. Residual income. So with 2 people, it is totally free. 2 people is totally free. But if you get 3 people, the company starts to pay you $154. So the $174 will come back, but now they're paying you $154. It's $37.50 a week. You and those same 3 people get together and build a team of 12. Now you got over $600 a month. That's $150 a week. Some people are leaving their houses to go to a part-time job to stay on their feet to work for someone else, okay, for $600 a month. And then the IRS going to pull their part, so you're really only making $420. You're going to make all of this here, okay? All of this 1099 income. You and those same 12 get together and build a team of 30. Now you got $1,000 a month. That's $250 a week. That's insane. But guys, it don't stop there. It keeps getting better. You go from 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 to 5, all the way up to $500,000. But guess what? They just increased our comp plan to $750,000 a month. We got so many people at the top making $500,000 to $750,000. That's $750,000. And someone just hit it yesterday. They're making $750,000 a month. I mean, is that even heard of? And they're at home and they're trading. But I'm not going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about this one guy who's only 23 years old, who saw this information when he was 21. He's now one of the few, or one of the many, that's making $500,000 a month. $500,000 a month, and it's $1 million every 2 months. That's $125,000 a week. He saw this information when he was 21, just 2 years ago. He was actually a broke college student going to Morehouse. This is a true story. Broke college student. Didn't even have enough to go back to school the next semester. Ran into a friend and asked him, what was he doing? He said, hey, I'm in school, but I don't know if I'm better to go back. I just don't have the money. He said, what are you doing? He said, I'm trading. What is that? Never heard of it. 21 years old, never heard of it. Guys, he shared the same presentation with him. And you know what? He didn't procrastinate. He didn't wait. He didn't say, I'm going to research it. He didn't say, I'm going to Google it. He got started. Why? Because what he was doing right now wasn't working. And what he did the last year didn't work either. So he knew he had to do something different to get something different. Right? And he got started, and then he got into the education, learned the skill, then grew his account to over $25,000, his trading account, and then went on a social media platform and then told anybody that would listen, and he freed the lives of over 30,000 people. But see, most of us won't see that because we're so programmed and conditioned to go to school to get that good old job to work for someone else. Working for someone else is not the American way. That's the wrong way. The right way is to create your own wealth. Create your own wealth, and you can do that with foreign exchange. Guys, let me tell you something, because I'm about to close this out. There's 3 types of people that see this information. There's 3. The first person says, Rhonda, I just don't know. And I'll say to you, if not this, then what? If not now, then when? Sometimes you got to participate in your own rescue. Jump off that bridge, and guess what? Forex going to catch you. Okay? Second person says, I got questions. If you got questions, Tabitha and Michelle will be right here to answer any questions you have, guys. Get your questions answered. Because no researcher, no Google can tell you what we're doing. They can't tell you how we're making money on these charts on a daily basis, on a nightly basis, overnight basis. We're changing lives and bank accounts, guys. Let me tell you, you're the sum total of who you hang around. You hang around 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th broke person. Because the broke person can only teach you one thing, and that's how to be broke. And they'd be the first ones to tell you, oh, this not real. It's the get rich quick scheme. It don't work. No, they don't work. And they'll tell you it's a scam. No, the scam is your job. Because your job got you getting up before you finish sleeping, got you hustling and bustling to go to a job that's going to overwork and underpay you. Guys, we got a pandemic out here right now. And I ain't just talking about COVID. I'm not just talking about COVID. We got a serious pandemic out here. And if you don't see it and you don't understand, you got to do something different in this lifetime to get something different. I don't know what else I can say beyond, God, this is it. This is it. At some point, you got to say, you know what, enough is enough and I'm tired. I'm ready for something different. I have to change my life. And if that's you, get back to Michelle or Tabitha. Let them know that you're excited and you want to learn about this opportunity, because our community don't know about it. Other communities do. Other communities do. And they making money. They making moves. Their kids are even making money. So guys, I hope what I said to you, open up your minds, open up your hearts, and then just hopefully and prayerfully that our goal, and we're committed to freeing over 500 families in the month of June. And we pray that you're a part of that family. So again, guys, I want to thank you so much. Jason, I appreciate you.
Thank you, Rhonda. We appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Awesome. So a lot of information was shared on this evening. A lot of information was shared on this evening. Rhonda's got to jump off. Like I said, she's making moves. She's in the midst of getting ready to go and share with another group. And so we're grateful to have Michelle and Tabitha that are on. And so Michelle and Tabitha, go ahead. You can unmute yourselves as we get into the conversation just a little bit, and I'll invite you all to also share whatever else you maybe think that Rhonda didn't fully elaborate on. But I just wanted to pick up where she left off. She talked about essentially the fact that we are in a pandemic, and everybody has been watching the news over the course of the past week or more since the tragic killing of George Floyd. And a lot of things have come to light, and especially with people of color, a lot of things have been illuminated about where we are as a people, that we're still stuck in a rut, that we have not really achieved the type of status and success that we have our parents and our grandparents have been fighting for generations. But one of the clear ways to be able to do that is to be able to have your own, but not only have your own, be able to reinvest that back in the community. So I have a couple questions, and then also our audience, if you're joining us via Facebook Live, if you're with us in the room tonight via Zoom, go ahead and drop your questions down in the chat, and we'll begin fielding some of those. But I just want to start by asking this. Many people, especially people of color, especially Black folks, African Americans, are essentially a paycheck away from losing their house, a paycheck away from having to file for unemployment. Many, especially in the midst of COVID-19, have been doing that. And so, unfortunately, you know, people are just strapped for cash. And the ability to be able to have what a lot of folks, and I think some of what you all are offering is this disposable income does not yet exist. So for folks that don't have the disposable income to really begin the process of investing, I know Rhonda shared a little bit about what it costs to get started with trading with you guys. But folks that don't have that disposable income, how soon, say I'm able, you know, to muster up that initial investment, but there's also a regular monthly fee to get things, keep things moving, invest and do all the other things, support the different platforms. How soon does someone begin to start seeing a real return on their investment? You know, for a lot of people, $234.95 could be a bill. So they're putting that off, and they're saying, all right, I'm going to put that off. You know, I can juggle some things. I can call somebody this, that, and the other. How soon before they see that 234 back in an ideal scenario?
So,
okay. Go ahead, Tabitha.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you say that. We get that question all the time. So one of the, in short, you can see that almost immediately. And I say that because it's, as soon as you sign up in this for this education, you have immediate access to it. You have all of your tools needed in order for you to get started. We give you all of the information. We work with you. We walk you step by step, and then after which we show you with our copy and paste signals that Ms. Rhonda talked about. copy and paste signals, right? With that, that's why we have coined the phrase, you earn as you learn, earn while you learn. We give you so many different ways in order to earn that 174, earn that 235 back. So you're talking about immediate. And when I say immediate, I would say within 3 days, you can definitely see that. You can't go to a job with that.
Right. So essentially what you're talking about is, for lack of a better term, I won't use the word job, but I will, on the job training. You are building skills as you are beginning to see a return, or seeing those skills that you're learning and then applying begin to work for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So you talked about 2 different pathways, and so we just gotta be real. This straight talk, no chaser. Michelle, or Tabitha, either one of you. A lot of folks that may be out there in our audience and they may see this and hear this may be familiar with your traditional pyramid model, if you will, type structures. So I heard a little bit of that in tonight's presentation, but how is that different? And I think I also heard Ms. Jackson talking about how you don't necessarily have to go that route if that's not your thing. If you're not a team builder, if you just kind of sort of do a lot of your stuff in isolation, not that you don't want to share it, but that you just don't have a knack for that.
Absolutely.
How do you still get involved without feeling that burden, if you will, of, oh, I got to ask somebody to come on board and they may not want to come on board for all those things. So how do you still get involved and begin to make this business work for you?
Well, so the business is, again, it's twofold. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's twofold. And the initial part is the trading. So the trading is education, right? So you come on board to acquire this education, learn the skill of trading. That's where your money is coming from, right? That's what you focus on initially, trade, learn to trade, right? So then the other side, the completely optional other side, is building a team or network marketing, as you will. So it's optional. We can't say it enough. It's optional. You do not have to do it. You're not forced to do it. It doesn't bear any weight on your trading, because trading is what it is. You learn how to trade, you make money. Again, like you said, you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to tell anybody what you're doing. It's all you. You're in solitude. You close the door, you trade, you're good. But if you so choose, you can build a team. It's kind of like walking down the street and you see $100 bill laying on the ground. Would you leave it there?
Right.
So you honestly, you would pick it up, right? So team building is that $100 bill. Because it's residual income. It's optional, but it's residual income. And it's money that is there for the taking, if you will. So why leave it there? It doesn't require a whole lot of effort, because typically if you think about it, we tell people things all the time. We go to a restaurant. Hey, have you been to so-and-so restaurant? Their crab cakes are delicious. Or we find a sale. Hey, so-and-so's having a sale. That's network. You're telling people about stuff. So it's the same thing, essentially. You're telling them what you're doing. They may or may not be interested. If they are interested, they may want to do what you do. Bring them on board, and pretty much the team could grow by itself without a whole lot of effort from one person. So it's just optional. But again, why leave the money there?
Right. So I think some of that even speaks to the piece about finding the right people, finding folks that you feel comfortable with, finding people that kind of know your style, you know their style. Everybody's not necessarily a conversationalist. But if you're able to build a team with somebody that's a conversationalist and can do that work, that's about getting the information out there. But somebody else may be a numbers person, or somebody else, may be that one that's really analytical. Building that type of structure that can work so that it's not so much on any one person is really key and essential, it sounds like.
Well, actually, here's the thing. We are strong on team building, and not team building, but teamwork. We all work together as a team and as a group. So you're never in isolation. A person, we never want anyone to feel like they're on an island by themselves. If they choose to team build, we got you. We help everyone. You don't have to do a presentation. You don't have to to train them. That's not what you're there for. You have simply shared the information. They saw interest. They want to join. Bring them aboard. We will wrap our arms around them, and we got them. It's not whether or not who knows what. It's not about being analytical. Again, you don't have to do the presentation. We can handle all of that. It's just not that difficult to do, really.
All right. So I want to hit on just a couple more things, here. I was taking copious notes, as they say. Copious notes. I want to go back. So one of the things that I heard on the beginning, and Michelle, we kind of sort of had this conversation a little bit offline. I probably wasn't the most articulate about it, but I think this is a good point now that Rhonda said some things that kind of sort of made it click. What has been the difference? Well, what is the difference between the stock market, or as we knew it, long ago, as something that we tended to shy away from because either, number one, we ain't had the money to invest in the stock market, or we didn't know anybody that was a broker. What's the difference or big difference between that and what you all are offering with respect to trading when you start talking about cryptocurrency and Forex and Bitcoin and things like that? What's the difference?
So one big difference is with the stock market, you're trading one market. So that is the New York Stock Exchange. With Forex, you are trading London sessions, Asian sessions, what is it, Shell? You had
US
put it this way. I know, how did we forget US? But yeah, so that's one of the biggest things, which means you are generating in this particular industry, you are generating, like say now you are in the trillions. That's where that trillions come from, because as opposed to the billions, we are the largest, most lucrative industry out there. Everybody uses currency. Every country, so currency is flowing everywhere. As opposed to with the stock market, So yeah.
Where the stock market is simply, like she said, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and it's over.
That's it.
Yeah, because I'm connected. I decided in 2020, Michelle, don't get me. I decided in 2020 I was just gonna play. I was gonna play a little bit. And so you see those offerings, who are they? Acorn, Popcorn, all those people that are out there. Robin Hood, kind of sort of, came and said, hey, let's try this out with a couple bucks and a couple dollars. And so I said, all right, when everything started back in March with COVID-19 coming, and you heard the market analysts begin to talk about things that were going to be really big because people were going to have to stay home. And because of all of that, we're utilizing Zoom platform. So I said, well, let me jump up and invest in Zoom. And so, I bought some stock in Zoom. And so then they said, well, okay, there's also be a big wave of people that are home using exercise machines and stuff. So I saw Peloton jump on those. I said, let me buy a little bit of Peloton. I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but I'm listening, quote unquote, to the analysts. Then they were offering a little special stock, being able to get, I think it was, who are the people? Snapchat, something the kids use. And I'm like, okay. And so before I knew it, I had invested maybe about, I would say $235, $275, something like that in that neighborhood. But then there was an option for this cryptocurrency, and I just didn't get it. And I was just like, all right, well, but they were asking for the least amount of money to be invested. So I just said, well, here's the extra $20 and see it. And so it's doing something. To be honest, I don't have a clue what it's doing. I get the little things every day, and sometimes when you have the ticker tapes will go up, and sometimes they go down. I really want them to go up a little bit more, and I guess we can probably talk. And anybody that's interested in this, really seeing this, I mean, these ladies have laid out an excellent presentation for you. But I'm saying all that. I'm seeing a question in our chat. You ladies maybe can see it. I'm gonna read it out for the rest of our audience. The question is, and both of you can share, what are the trades that you did today and the ticker symbols, and what are your trading strategies, swing options, and forex? So somebody know a little bit about what they talk about. So I don't know how much you can say online, you know, so everybody know, but what are the trades? That's a great question. What are the trades that you maybe did today that maybe kind of sort of folks wouldn't have thought of, that are kind of lucrative?
You want to take that, Chair?
Okay, so I'll take that. So today, for me, it was a light trade day. I'm a full-time employee, so it was a heavy meeting day for me. So trading was light. However, I did get in on the Bitcoin trade that Rhonda alluded to earlier. So the symbol would be BTC USD for Bitcoin. That trade was called earlier today, and I got in it. Profited sometime around, I think it was about 3 o'clock or so, and closed that trade out in profit. So the other pair I'm thinking, because I'm now looking at my phone, was probably USD JPY is one of my favorite pairs to trade, and again that closed out with a profit as well. But to just go back a little bit to what you had said, Jay, about you purchasing the stock options and all of that through those avenues that you chose, but you bought them, but you don't understand what you did other than gave money up. So the beauty part about what we're offering here is the education for you to understand, to learn how to trade yourself. So you're not handing money over to Acorn or whomever to purchase the stock or whatever. You are doing it yourself, and you understand why the trade is. You have identified a trade. You understand that it's going to go in a certain direction. You input the trade yourself, which essentially means you make the purchase. You decide when you want to get out of the trade with a profit. You clock your profit, you close it out, and you go to bed. So, or go to work or whatever you're doing. But you completely learn the market, the trends of the market. You use the strategy, because the question was about strategy. Use the strategy of your choice, the one that you understand the best. Again,
you learn how to navigate.
Yeah, you learn how to navigate the charts and understand what you're seeing. You identify trends over the courses of days, weeks, months, years, or whatever it is, so that you understand what the market's going to do, what's coming next. You learn to analyze the news. You learn to pay attention to the news and to politics. And as you stated early on in the episode, well, I would say the pandemic, there were situations where, or instances, I should say, where there were news conferences, regular, and they often came on, or they came on first thing in the morning, right? So if you all recall, the news conferences would come on at 9 o'clock. The stock market opens at 9:30. And soon as the stock market opened, what happened? If anybody remembers what happened, right? It always, it plummeted every time there was a news conference, the stock market opened, it dropped. Which is why a few times they had to pull the safety net on the stock market to keep the bottom from falling out. Well, in trading, you learn how to ride that down. You learn how to watch for things like that. So you're in position because you know what's going to happen, and you ride it down, and you profit off of that fall. Absolutely. As opposed to the stocks, the bottom fell out. So now you have to recover. Right?
You said something else I want to jump on. In our time, but I'm gonna come back because I think it's important to hear, and I need to check over on our Facebook platform to see other questions. One of the other questions that's in from for you ladies is on crypto. Do you all just trade? I think that's Bitcoin, like I said, or do you trade the altcoins?
The altcoins.
I guess it may have been coins.
Yeah, alternative. Yes, that's so. Yes, yes, we trade all cryptocurrency here. So Bitcoin is just the tip of the iceberg. You have quite a few, and we trade them all here, and we teach you how to navigate and trade all of them.
Awesome. All right, Michelle, I'm gonna mess with you a little bit. Tabitha, I'm gonna mess with you as well. So I heard you say something, and I know that everybody is in a different level or doing different things based on their own personal needs. So Rhonda talked about wanting to give up wanted to retire, and I've got a question on retirement early that came in from somebody ahead of time. But from what I understand, she's no longer working her regular 9 to 5, and clearly she might could speak to a little bit more of the timetable on how that all came to be. So Michelle, you're still working your 9 to 5 or 9-ish to 5-ish. What about you?
I am actually a business owner, so I own cafes.
That's
so
right. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
So look,
for me,
hub your business while you on here. Talk about it. I've been to the cafe.
Absolutely. Like I said, I own cafes, More Than Java Cafe in Maryland. We have 3 locations currently and expanding, continuing to expand. But with that being said, it really segues into why I even chose to do Forex. Because if you remember or recall what Rhonda said, Ms. Jackson said, we're still on, though we may be on the right side of money as a business owner or self-employed, truly, it makes it a little easier. However, I wanted to go into generational wealth. I want to have something that would be able, I can teach my children and they can continue to teach their children. So it's a little different than building a legacy as with just my cafe. So I like to talk about that, or the differences between that, because again, I'm self-employed, but I'm working hard. I am working hard.
So I'm sure you can jump in on this too. Would you say that it is still more of a love or passion for that which you're doing that still has you in the 9 to 5 sector, and less of a what I want to say, less of a lucrativeness in the trading industry? And at what point, or if any, do you see yourselves fully saying, okay, hands off? Tabitha, I know, like, so building a business and a brand is a little bit different. Michelle, yours may be a little bit different as well. But is there ever a point where you say, okay, no, trading is it for me? And I'm really asking this question, especially for, she gave the scenario about the young man that was in college. I'm hearing a lot of millennials are coming out of school and they got thousands of dollars in debt. And sometimes the industries that they have studied hard for don't have employment in them. And you think about times like this in the midst of a pandemic, people have had to be laid off, sent home, reduced. I'm trying to get to the point of where saying, okay, is there ever an instance where you say, maybe I don't need to go and look at such and such university, and I'm all for education, and clearly even education has its part in trading. But is there ever a scenario where you say, I don't have to go to work for anybody else immediately, I can jump right in and start doing my own thing and earning for myself and my family?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm, as you said, still working. I am in 33 years in, so I just have, at this point, I'm not going to give away.
You vested.
Right.
Too close to just throw it all away. You're going to get something for that.
So I'm counting down to three years left, 3 years. So, but I'm building my wealth while I'm counting down, because of course, with the government securities, the TSP and what you have, I'm just not sure if that's going to carry me as far as I want to go. It allow me to be as comfortable as I would like to be.
Absolutely.
So I'm continuing to trade, and I trade more and more because I want to build that nest egg. And as Tabitha stated, sharing it with my children and my grandchildren and nieces and nephews as well. Because again, like you said, they were college students, and one is actually preparing for college. So come out as a graduate looking for, with an arts degree, looking for some viable employment, right? That's going to pay well. It's an option to learn how to trade. So I'm looking very forward to retiring in 3 years, and I'll say or less, because as I build this, if the early outcomes from the government I'm gonna take it.
Right, right. And so you hit on something that one of my mentors, Dr. Rodney Thomas Smothers, always talks about having multiple streams of income.
Absolutely.
Multiple streams of income. So I wanted to make sure that you highlighted those reasons and rationale why you still are keeping your 9 to 5 or your 24/7, whatever it is, in the midst of doing this, because a lot of times people will hear the beauty of trading and the excitement of trading and how lucrative it is, and folks will just jump out there, and not to say that it cannot do, but it's good to have multiple ways in which you can grow yourself, grow your family, grow your brand. So I've got one more for you, and stuff, and we can weigh in. And I didn't ask on the front end. Normally we jump off. We have an after show. I don't know if you ladies are on Instagram. If you are, I normally go on Instagram immediately after the show to show some love over there and to allow maybe 2 or 3 minutes for folks to ask any questions that may come up. If you have IG and are willing to join me for 2 or 3 minutes, you've already given so much of your time this evening, and we're grateful for it. But definitely, I'll share my Instagram handle for the audience. It's Cool Waters 714 on IG. Cool with the K, Kool Waters 714. I'll be over there immediately after this, having a conversation with folks about still getting their money right for the summer. This is a major way that you can get your money right for the summer in the midst of an presently an economic downturn, possibly, even a recession. And we pray to God, not a depression. You want to make sure that there's some other things that have your back and to help ensure that you and your family are able to stay afloat in the midst of all of this. And so the question I want to ask specifically, and it really speaks to the issue of the day as we close it out. I mean, Black America is continuing to see the degradation of the race by not only the systemic issues of the past, but what currently still is alive and well with respect to racism. And so one of the big things that I think, on last Monday, in the wake and the aftermath of George Floyd and the memorial service that was on today, many of us had an opportunity to see, pointing to the point that Black America is going to have to step up, stand up, and really not be dependent upon anybody else other than ourselves to ensure not only is there generational wealth for you and your family, but when you come out of a community, but for everybody on your block. And so I guess from your perspective, if you will, what are some ways that you perhaps see, you don't have to be big, elaborate, but what are some ways that you see trading as being able to help the Black community to begin to pull itself into a place of financial stability? Many of us are in debt. Many of us are living paycheck to paycheck. Many of us are still in the impoverished areas that we grew up in. So what are some ways that you foresee trading helping us to do that as a community? And I want to just say this to the audience as they prepare to answer. I'm not talking about you being able to say you got you some bling. I'm not talking about necessarily you being able to say that you got the biggest house on the block, or you being able to say that you got, 2 or 3 different cars. I'm talking about you not having to worry about a generation coming after you, wondering whether or not they're going to have little or next to nothing to thrive on. So what are some ways that you see this being able to help the Black community as a whole?
That's a great question. And part of it you answered yourself, I believe. The first part of really moving us into a different stratosphere is basically the mindset. We have to start there. If we understand that first there is a way that we can do that, by the way, by how we're doing it, we're sharing with any and everybody we come in contact with, by sharing this information, exposing this information. I think that's the best word, exposing it. If we expose it, this information to as many, that we can, that's half the battle right there. Because most of us just don't know that there
Never heard
is
of
a
it.
there, exactly, there is a place that you can go. There's a thing that's tangible, and it's something that we can do. It's so many years, for so many decades, for so, we've all been taught that, but really not been taught, but we all had this, or are under the impression that, like I said, there is nothing else. There's nothing
But to
else
work.
but to work. So,
Right.
like I said, that is a conditioned thought process, right? So again, by exposing this information, by utilizing, your generous platform, I do the same thing in my cafe. I talk to people all the time. Any type of way we can get this information out, that's it. That's power right there. Because like I said, this has been just kicked under a rock. It's been shared, but not by us. It's been shared in a different community for decades. This is new. Forex has
Right,
been
not
around
new.
forever.
It's not
You know
new.
what I mean?
Right. It's
So,
not new.
not new at all, but it's new to us. So even now we find it's so funny because we have this conversation all the time. It's so funny when you do expose this information, we still have those who are like, I don't know, that sounds just way too good to be true. But because we've always been so conditioned that, this doesn't work for us. This doesn't work. So we already have that obstacle in front of us. But what we keep doing, what we continue to do, we share. So we have now started, again, using these social media platforms. We start using, these groups, setting up different groups and things like that, exposing and talking until we can't talk anymore. And then we keep talking again. We just tag team, and
Right.
the next one picks up. But I'm telling you, mindset is it. Mindset is it. So, Michelle?
Yeah, I completely agree with what you said, Tabitha. It's all about the mindset and thinking past work, because we've been conditioned to go to school, to graduate high school, go to college, get a good job. At least for me, I can say that got a government job early on, because back then that was what you
Yeah.
did. You went to work for
Yeah.
the government. So now
Absolutely.
33 years later, I look back like, I wish I had known
Yeah.
about this.
Mm-hmm.
Even in college, I can recall taking a class in stocks in the 80s, and it was at that point, there was a lot of manual calculation. There was some paper involved, drawing lines. I recall vaguely, but I recall doing pretty well in that class. But it just wasn't something that stuck with me, and the foreign exchange was not in the curriculum. That wasn't part of the book.
No.
So,
No.
had been exposed a little more, had I known at the time, just think how things would be very different for me now. But that's okay, because it's not too late. It's never too late to get started. And it's 5.3, actually over 5.3 trillion dollar
We're 6.4.
industry a day
6.4.
per day. So there's plenty of money for me.
Piece of a piece.
So for all of us, if we want it, all of us, if we want it. Ladies, do me a favor, tell everybody out there how they can get in touch with you. They've heard the initial presentation. They may have more questions. They may be ready to jump on board and get signed up. Please each of you share your information, how they can get in touch with you and get connected and get started.
Okay, sure. You can have my number. My number is 301-908-8661, 301-908-8661. And as well, I have a website. It's michelletrades.com. Michelle, Michelle, trades with an S. That's TRADES.com.
All right. And again, Tabitha Clark, 240-463-4851. You see, we give those numbers out just freely because we love talking to people.
Right.
And then email me, chairman, tdc1@gmail.com. Please feel free. We are truly saying we will answer all questions. We are flexible because this is what we do. We are we are planning and trading for our exit strategies.
That's right.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
right.
That's it. I love that. That exit strategy. You look, Tabitha, y'all know, my primary work, my vocational work is pastoring, and that's the direction I'm going in this Sunday as I jump back in the pulpit coming up our women's season. I've been on break, and I'm preaching the new sermon series. This is my exodus, talking about what we can do as a community to exit out of what we find ourselves in. And so I'm excited. I look forward, of course. I love y'all so much. Appreciate you coming on. Look forward to having further conversation, get my crew and my posse together to see how we can make this work. Make sure that you reach out to these ladies. Next week, you want to make sure we are continuing these vital conversations on Straight Talk, No Chaser. Next week, my guests are going to be Dr. Kevin Slayton and Dr. C. Anthony Hunt, and maybe some others. They're coming on and having a conversation about the Black voice in the midst of the 2020 election. The Black voice in the midst of the 2020 election. We got a lot to talk about. These gentlemen have a wealth of knowledge and information from working in local community, civic affairs, government, working on some campaigns for some local and national folks, and really just understanding the beloved community and who we are as a people, and making sure that our voice is heard in the midst of this election. More than now, more than any other election, this is a critical one. You got to make sure, I hope everybody has already voted. June 2nd was the date and the deadline, but if we ain't done, we still got a general election to get to, but we need to know what it is that we are voting for, not just for the president of the United States, as important that is, but all the way down ballot, because all that stuff impacts every other area of the issues that are systemic, that need to be upended to begin to make change and make things like trading have an even bigger outcome, not just for us individually, but collectively as a community. So we hope you'll join us back. If you want to hear a little bit more from these ladies, I'm getting ready to jump over on the Instagram platform, Cool Waters with a K 714 at Instagram. You can join me over there. If they're going to be able to come over for just 2 or 3 minutes, you'll be able to ask a couple more questions, and then we're going to let them get back to trading away, building that wealth for the next generation. Thank y'all. We'll see you right back here next week on Straight Talk, No Chaser with Dr. JJG. Y'all be blessed, family. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.